Where there's hype, there is internet searching being done, and Justin Trudeau's trip to Washington is no exception to that rule. Google Trends analyst Aaron Brindle is doing the analysis, and he is here to tell us what he's been finding out as he watches everything going down in cyberspace. All right, Aaron, let's look at Canadian before we look at the American trends. What are you noticing Canadians are looking for related to this trip?
Well, they're asking some interesting questions. I think, first of all, there was some questions around, well, what is a state dinner? That was the top question Canadians were asking Google in the last 7 days. When is the state dinner? Well, we know the answer, that's tomorrow. What will Sophie wear was the third top trending question, which is, in some ways it's not surprising given the context of the headlines that came out of 1977 when Margaret Trudeau, her hemline was the major story, and that's, nearly 40 years ago.
Yeah, okay. I gather the menus come out. Is that triggering any searches on the internet?
Yeah. We've seen a big spike in searches for something called Yukon Jack whiskey, which is a Canadian whiskey, which will be the glaze on the lamb chops tomorrow night. There were a lot of questions actually around the menu. What's interesting is that there was interest in the U.S. as well in terms of what the menu might look like for tomorrow night. So Americans are also paying attention to this state dinner.
Yeah, but what else are they looking at? I mean, certainly Justin Trudeau stirred a lot more interest in what he's going to eat tomorrow night, or what else are they curious about?
Well, we saw a big spike in search interest for the Prime Minister following that 60 Minutes profile over the weekend. And what's interesting is that that profile looked at a number of pieces from Justin Trudeau's past and his political history. We saw a big spike in searches for Justin Trudeau boxing, related obviously to that infamous boxing match back in 2012. And that spiked in Washington. Washington, D.C. had the highest, they're pugilists there, and I think there was a lot of interest in Washington over that match. We saw searches for Justin Trudeau's appearance. His Justin Trudeau hot was trending in New York. A lot of questions though around things like how old is Justin Trudeau? Is he related to Pierre Elliott Trudeau? These kinds of questions. A lot of kind of further clarifications around who this new Prime Minister is.
Is there a geographical concentration? Like, are people more interested in Washington, D.C. and out in the real world not so interested, or what are you sensing from that?
Well, it's kind of interesting when you look at the top states in the U.S. searching for Justin Trudeau this week compared to the states that are showing the least amount of search interest. You could say he's a bit of an East Coast liberal. There's a lot of interest in Washington, D.C., and then Maine, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, New York, Vermont. These are all the states that are searching the most for Justin Trudeau, whereas the states searching least frequently, they're kind of what they're known as the kind of SEC states, the kind of southeastern, southern states, Nebraska, Alabama, Mississippi, showing the least amount of search interest in Justin Trudeau and the state dinner.
You should overlap the states where he's most popular and least popular with Donald Trump's popularity and see if there's any correlation. All right, that's for another day though, Aaron. We appreciate your insight.
Absolutely.
We appreciate your insight on this. Thanks for joining us.
It's my pleasure.